The Hells Angels and Outlaws are two of the most notorious outlaw motorcycle gangs in the world, and their rivalry shows no signs of ending anytime soon. Their violent history has been fueled by their constant war for territory and control of the drug trade. While law enforcement agencies have tried hard to crack down on their criminal activities and dismantle them, both groups remain very much active. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into their never-ending rivalry, what happens when you take it too far, how hard it is to join them, and which of these two gangs is the baddest. By the way, the subscribe button under this video is sponsored by the Hells Angels and the like buttons by the Outlaws, so whichever you click will show them whose side you are on, so click wisely.
I'm gonna click yes.
To understand how it all started, you need to know a bit about how both motorcycle gangs even started. The Hells Angels was founded in California in 1948 by a group of World War II veterans who shared a passion for motorcycles and a disrespect for mainstream society. They quickly gained a reputation as a group of outlaw rebels who lived by their own rules and were not afraid to use violence to get what they wanted.
Take what I want.
The Hells Angels quickly expanded beyond California, with chapters popping up in other parts of the United States and Canada. Their favorite hobbies, apart from epic rides, include a variety of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and racketeering. In the 1960s, they were implicated in a number of high-profile crimes, including the murder of a California gang leader and the beating of a California attorney. Despite their reputation for violence and criminal activity, the Hells Angels continue to grow in size and influence over the years. They became one of the most well-known and notorious outlaw motorcycle gangs in the world, with a number of members between 3,000 and 3,600 and 467 chapters in 59 countries. The Outlaw Motorcycle Club, with an estimated number of members ranging from 7,200 to 8,000, was founded in 1935 in McCook, Illinois by freedom-loving outlaws who shared a passion for motorcycles and a love of the open road. They were the first outlaw motorcycle club to establish a presence outside of the United States, with chapters in Canada and Europe. Like the Hells Angels, the Outlaws quickly gained their notorious reputation. Even though they're mostly cool dudes on a motorbike minding their own business, they're also experts in all sorts of illegal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and racketeering. Suffice to say that when it comes to protecting their territory, they don't shy away from using violence. But hey, to be fair, would you let anyone else barge in and take over your territory? The Hells Angels and the Outlaws have been bitter rivals for many decades. The origins of their rivalry can be traced back to the 1960s, when the Hells Angels attempted to expand into the Outlaws' territory in the Midwest. The Outlaws saw the Hells Angels as a threat to their dominance and responded with a lot of violence and intimidation. That continued over the years, and there have been a great number of brutal clashes between the two groups, resulting in a lot of bloodshed. One of the most iconic incidents took place during the so-called First Biker War in 1977, when both clubs were looking to expand into Canada, with the Outlaws arriving a few months before the Hells Angels. But unfortunately, the rule first come, first served did not apply here. What led to this war was the infamous Satan's Choice Popeyes War. In 1974, the Outlaws joined forces with Satan's Choice, the biggest motorcycle club in Canada. This helped the Outlaws try to take over the Hells Angels' power in Quebec by getting into the Montreal part of Satan's Choice. This caused a big fight between the Montreal chapter of Satan's Choice and their outlaw friends versus the Popeye Moto Club, who was backed by the Hells Angels. This resulted in many deaths on both sides. And so between 1977 and 1984, the Hells Angels and the Outlaws Motorcycle Club engaged in a long and violent conflict known as the First Biker War, which ended with the Hells Angels emerging as the victors. After their defeat, the Outlaws retreated to their stronghold in Ontario, while the Hells Angels expanded their operations and presence by moving into port cities such as Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Vancouver, British Columbia. But that's not all. The two groups have also engaged in other vengeful attacks over the coming years. In 1979, a bomb exploded at the Hells Angels clubhouse in Winnipeg, Canada, killing one member and injuring many others. The Hells Angels obviously blamed none other than the Outlaws for the attack and retaliated by bombing an Outlaws club in Indiana, killing several members. And their clashes didn't take place in Canada only. Another one of their most notorious incidents occurred occurred in 1984 when members of the Hells Angels and the Outlaws clashed at a motorcycle rally in Dayton, Ohio. The resulting violence left 4 people dead and dozens more injured. So, how can you even tell which buff dude on a Harley-Davidson with an intimidating look on his face belongs to which gang? Well, the Hells Angels are known for their distinctive logo featuring a winged skull. This logo is often worn on leather jackets and vests by their members and is known as the Death Head. Most Hells Angels members are white males who ride Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Their strict code of conduct also includes a strong commitment to the Brotherhood's loyalty and respect for their fellow members. They have a very firm stance against misconduct. They forbid their members to use drugs intravenously, and they never accept people who have records for being child molesters. You might also hear rumors that they welcome their new recruits with kicks, punches, and even throw human urine and feces on them. And they are not allowed to wash for the whole day. Well, that might have happened, maybe once in the 60s as an experiment. You know, boys being boys. Anyway, let bygones be bygones. You must also have at least 1,000 hours of riding experience. Anyone who resigns is required to turn in all regalia bearing the Hells Angels name or Death Head insignia. But something tells me that to resign this club will not be that simple. Some chapters have clubhouses, but members typically gather in bars and ride out together on runs to recreational destinations. Now, the Outlaws' official rulebook is as detailed and specific as your grandma's recipe book. The preface of the 22 Rule 3-page document emphasizes the importance of brotherhood and respect for the Outlaw patch. Members should fully understand this or off. If you want to join them, you must own a bike of at least 750cc. They take a deep pride when it comes to proper fashion, though. The dress code contained in Rule 6 is strict. The Outlaw patches of skull and cross pistons must be worn on new leather or black denim Levi-style cutoffs. No blue denims allowed. If you break the rules, you shall be punished with a few $100 fine. And how about gender equality? Women, wives, girlfriends, etc. will not be allowed to wear property or patches or any outlaw regalia. Sorry, there you go, ladies. One of the most important rules in the book is about relations with anyone outside the club. A strict no-comment policy, aka don't open your mouth to anyone about anything, #snitches get stitches. And if you want to resign, outlaws leave in either bad standing, good standing, in retirement, or a coffin. Those who eventually retire and somehow still manage to breathe can wear a dress shirt, retirement style. The rules finish with simple yet powerful advice. Support your local outlaw. In recent years, law enforcement agencies have cracked down on both the Hells Angels and the Outlaws, resulting in numerous arrests, convictions, and even life sentences. But despite all that, if you ask insiders, they'll tell you that both groups are just good dudes loving the freedom of the good motorcycle ride, and some would even help you save your cats if need be. Either way, they continue to happily operate their activities, fight each other, and from time to time, they even make it to the newspaper headlines.
Whose side are you on?